Hello again. Welcome to another edition of Croplife Retail Week. Paul Schrimpf here, joined by Eric Sfiligoj and Sparky. What's going on, Eric?
Well, it's actually a rainy, cool fall day here in Ohio. There was lots of thunder earlier and lots of rain, and the dog was scared. But and then I have every light on in this room to try to make sure that I'm showing up because I have no sunshine whatsoever coming through the window.
So Lord knows our audience really wants to see you in your full glory. That's great. Glad they did that. So,
well, I was going to say, I suppose I could, next week, since we'll be recording around Halloween, I suppose I could do it in the dark wearing a pitch black bodysuit or something and see if anyone can tell where I am talking from in the room. But or is that going too far?
That's way too far. Way too far. So we've been doing a lot of work on the Vision Conference and putting together sessions and talking to people about what's going on with technology and kind of shaping that content. And we had this is definitely not a Midwest story, but a company called NatureSweet is doing it's essentially tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers, but mostly tomatoes right now under glass. You've probably seen NatureSweet in the produce aisle. They have these interesting kind of inverted stacked cherry tomatoes and things like that in a container. But one of the things they've done is they've really pushed the traceability element of this. So if you peel back the label and you look on the back, you can hit a QR code that actually shows you a video of the crop being harvested, and you can actually find out who was harvesting that crop if you so desire. They've had a lot of interesting interaction with customers. I mean, kids writing letters, customers writing letters about those folks, and the field workers actually writing back to the kids about thanking them for their for their interest in how they grow. So it's a manifestation of all the stuff that we've been talking about for years. And they have a large area of under glass production, which obviously with the controlled environment really helps in terms of being able to produce a good healthy crop with low pests and low diseases and so forth. And a couple of interesting characters. We're looking forward to having them speak at the Vision Conference among others. But yeah, it's great to see these kind of technologies moving forward and these kind of visions of traceability and connecting with the customer. Really cool.
Not bad. Yeah, actually, I know, Paul, I've been a fan of NatureSweet tomatoes for many, many years. I know whenever I have a recipe or a salad that I'm making that calls for cherry tomatoes or small tomatoes, I almost always will default to the NatureSweet tomatoes when I can get them, because they are indeed sweet. They are very yummy, and I've enjoyed their products for many, many years. So it's good to know that they're at the forefront here of the whole traceability issue.
Absolutely, a lot of fun. So I know you've got a few things going on. Were you going to start with glyphosate and good news?
Yeah, actually, Paul. Again, I mean, this story sort of caught me off guard because for many years now, we've been talking about all the multiple lawsuits that are going on across the country, and in particular in California, where, individuals are claiming that whatever form of cancer that they have gotten was a result of them using Roundup or sister products in the past. And, up until now, the juries in these cases have ruled against glyphosate. But lo and behold, we actually found out that the herbicide did get a win recently, and of all places in California. There was a jury in California that had a case before it involving a 10-year-old boy who supposedly got Burkitt's lymphoma from Roundup use around him or near him. But when the jury in this case looked at all the facts and the science, they decided nope. There was no cause, no cancer being caused by the use of this product for this 10-year-old boy. And as you might imagine, Bayer was very pleased with the decision, basically saying that the verdict is consistent with the assessments of expert regulators worldwide, as well as the overwhelming weight of 4 decades of extensive science. So again, Paul, whether or not this is the beginning of lawsuits maybe going in favor of the science remains to be seen, but a win's a win. So at this point, I'm sure Bayer will take it, and so will those folks in agriculture who may have been worried about glyphosate and its future, given how things have gone up until now in the lawsuits that have already taken place.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. It may not change the direction or course, but at the same time, it's heartening to see that science held up in that particular case, and that we can hopefully look forward to maybe getting more deference when it comes to these things being reviewed, and less about emotion.
Yeah. So we will have to see about that. So Paul, I know a couple of videos ago, I had an item about the fact that we were talking about glyphosate, and the largest production plant for glyphosate in Louisiana was offline because of the hurricane that went through recently. I guess this will be a good news, bad news type of a story. The good news is that plant is now back in production. So glyphosate that was coming from Louisiana for Bayer's plant is now flowing once again out of that plant. The question is if it can get from the plant to where it needs to be. We've been talking about supply shortages, and our friends at Purdue University put out a report this week that said that based on their look ahead for the marketplace dynamics, they expect that supply shortages, in particular for crop protection products, will persist going into the 2022 spring season. In particular, they're warning that growers should be prepared to pay much higher prices and deal with supply shortages for two of the most popular, glyphosate and glufosinate, well into the season, and that they actually should start considering now perhaps alternative products that they may be able to get a little more easily to use in their fields come next year.
Yep, I saw, Twitter's been on fire about this for a while, but I did see I saw one Twitter post of a farmer that actually created containment in a in a barn area, at a concrete pad and containment built for just like a store mini bulks and have it be available to them no matter what. So yeah, I think the message is getting through. People are either acting on it or really thinking hard about acting on it if they haven't already. So very interesting, and it's just going to be a challenge. And we need to continue to talk to, as retailers, continue to talk to growers about the difficulty and how real this thing is. Presenting evidence. This is the time to act. We're not by any means pretending. This is the real deal.
Yeah, and based on a couple of interviews I've had recently, folks are anticipating that the supply chain disruptions that we're dealing with today will persist for at least the next year. So they're saying through the end of October 2022, things will probably remain tight. There'll be issues getting product where it needs to go. So I guess the message there in short is plan ahead right now.
Yes, sir. So I'm not even going to ask.
All right. Well, then I will bring it up, Paul. Time for your favorite segment of the show, the one you love to take part in. Fun with numbers. So, Paul, this one is actually, this is going to be some good news when I throw out the numbers to you. This is a number, 27, that's percent, 27%. And your clue would be equipment. So what might 27% represent when you're talking about equipment?
How about increase in sprayer sales?
Close. Very, very close. Actually, what the 27% represents is the growth in the United States for all ag machinery in 2021. Now, of course, that includes tractors and combines kind of leading the way, but since you do bring it up, the same report mentioned that equipment for dealing with fertilizer and crop protection, which I guess would be spreaders and sprayers, are anticipated to grow 16 to 20% for 2021. And for our friends in the tenders and trailers marketplace, the growth looks like it's going to be on par to be up more than 20% for the year. So 2021 is looking like a very good year for ag machinery equipment, plain and simple. I mean, it doesn't matter what product it is, there has been a demand. I guess now the danger, of course, what we were talking about going forward, supply, whether or not folks can keep up with the pace going into 2022. But so far, looks like at the end of this year, there will be a very, very good numbers for a lot of the equipment makers when it comes to demand for their product.
Yep, just getting parts and delivery, right? I mean, I know it's been even for the strictly retail manufacturers, all those folks are having monumental struggles getting the things that they need to build all this stuff. But it's good that it's good that demand is continued. That's always good to see. Yeah,
and again, and part of this might have been, of course, when we were in COVID shutdown mode and most people weren't traveling and shows weren't taking place during 2020. I don't remember the numbers specifically, but I think they were fairly, single digit growth or something to that effect. So the fact the market has come back so strongly here in 2021 was, very good news for these folks. So hopefully they're enjoying their year.
Absolutely. Is that it? We done?
Well, almost. One other thing just to mention. Okay. One other thing. As we may have mentioned a few videos ago, right now we're in the midst of our voting for the Croplife IRON Product of the Year. And we have one more week of voting taking place on that. And this will actually be the last video that comes out before voting closes on October 29th. So if you have a favorite product among the 5 products that were nominated, go to our website, which should be up on the screen, and vote for your favorite. And we will be sure to count that vote between now and next Friday when we come up with the winner.
And voting has been early, often, and pretty robust overall, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say we have over 500 votes as of this morning's tally, and normally we get 300 or 400 votes coming in. So the fact that we're well over 500 is a sign that yes, the people are enjoying the voting for themselves. And again, this is something fun. Obviously, it's sort of a popularity contest for the best product in the marketplace. But nonetheless, I know the companies involved are always very, very happy when they are named the winner. You bet. Congratulations to everyone who's been nominated, and we'll see that soon enough. So appreciate that, Eric. And of course, if you are going to be, for our retailer friends, if you're going to be at the Ag Retailers Association conference, both Eric and I are planning to be there. God willing, everything seems to be on track. So our fingers crossed. We're looking forward to getting into see a lot of folks we haven't seen in a long time. So we're really looking forward to it. And if you want to drop us a line, let us know you're going to be there. We'd certainly love to either set up an appointment or find a way to squeeze in a lunch or a coffee or anything to find out how you're doing this year. So please feel free to do that. And with that is it for this edition of Croplife Retail Week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.